Wedding Anchor Academy.
Hey, today I'm going to talk a little bit about abstracting in, well, the guests, but especially the wedding party. This is really, really a big issue, especially for those of you who are really focused on trying to capture each face perfectly. If they're paying you enough to do that, go for it. But if they're not, I suggest you don't. So, how do you do people without doing them in detail? Well, the answer is basically you have to be anatomically correct. You have to get the shape of a human being and their head and their arms and so on correct. But you indicate it, render it, draw it very loosely. Now, as you can see, I'm already nearly finished with these paintings here. Let me zoom in just a little bit for you so you can see what I've done so far. So there's the row of women, and let me pick up my iPad and see if you can see. So I've actually tried to render each member of the wedding party fairly accurately. So there's that girl right there, and she looks good, except that she's got a little bit too much of a line coming out from the end of her mouth. It looks like her mouth. And if I may pick on you a little bit, look at the way that I'm holding my brush. That's very important. I'm not holding it in the proverbial death control grip. You know what that is. I'm getting some dark paint on my brush now because she has a lot of hair hanging down in front of her face. So, and behind her head. So, I'm going to indicate that. I don't want it to look like she's wearing glasses, so I'm smudging out a line there just a little bit. There, I think that's good enough, except I can put a little bit more of a shadow under her chin. And I feel like if you can pay attention not just to what the painting looks like, but the manner in which I am moving, that's the real issue here. Very quick, loose, energetic strokes, not getting stuck in details. Now, yeah, this girl has one her most striking characteristic might be that bit of blonde hair right there. Hang on just a second. Let me turn you so you can see that a little bit better. See that the light is catching that right there? Now that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to scratch it. Let's move along to the next one. And that girl, she actually looks pretty good and actually has a pretty good likeness. A little bit more dark perhaps on the sides of her head. And again, see my marks are messy. Ooh, that's nice, but it's a little bit too much of a good thing. Let's smudge it out and then put it back again. There we go. Makes it look like her nose is too big, so hang on. Let's scratch that. Okay, there we go. All right, next we have this young lady right here, and I've already done the dresses. I'm not going to do a lot more there. But the curl, the curl that she has hanging down there and there, I think could be a little more pronounced. And then I'm just going to pick up a rag and either eliminate or diminish. I kind of like it actually. There we go. I just diminished that accidental mark. All right, now I have a tall, and I'm paying attention to how tall each girl is and so forth. I'm just going to do one more. This lady right here, very square, attractive, very square. I say that because I'm about to say something that could be taken as, you know, not attractive, but she is very attractive, but she has a very square chin. Okay, now, so it's a real delicate balance. It really is tricky. Capturing just enough detail. That's going to be too bright. Just enough detail, but not too much. Okay, it looks like she's got a black eye, so let's just lighten her cheeks a little bit and drag. Ooh, that was nice. So when you paint this way, any marks that end up looking good, you kind of have to regard as an accident. There, that's pretty good. I hope that helps a little bit. I'm going to keep this broadcast really, really, really short because I just want you to get the general impression. The bride and groom, for me, unless I'm instructed otherwise or requested otherwise by the client, by the bride, I always get them photographically perfect. That takes a lot of work. I call this show-off painting because this is what impresses a lot of people. But I call this over here good painting, just between you and me. This takes skill. This just takes a lot of work. Ooh, I've never said it that way before. Let me repeat that. This takes skill. You can develop it. This just takes a lot of work. And of course, you have to develop that skill as well. All right, I hope that helps a little bit. The same thing, I'm going to do the same exact thing with the guys over here. Then I'll be done with this painting. Thanks for watching.